All right, in this example, Gabe was hired by that same restaurant in example one, and he's making the same hourly wage. However, he has to do some training. Okay, he's going to do some unpaid training. They are requiring Gabe to do 4 hours of unpaid training. And so he's not going to earn anything until he's worked 4 hours. So if we let g of t be the function for Gabe's total earnings after t hours, we want to sketch a graph of g of t and then look at how g of t is related to p of t. That was Peter's earnings, if you recall from before. All right, so let's sketch this graph here. I'm going to draw a vertical and a horizontal axis. T is on the horizontal axis and the earnings is dependent on t, so that's going to go on the y-axis. All right. Now remember, here's what Peter's earnings look like, right? It was just a straight line. The slope of the line was his hourly wage. We don't know exactly what his hourly wage is, so I usually like to have graphs with a scale on them, but in this case, we don't really have enough information to put a scale on our graph. So, but whatever it is, we know how hourly wages work, and so we're just going to end up getting a straight line with a slope that's equal to the hourly wage. All right, so that's P of T from example 1. Now, Gabe. All right, Gabe has to work for 4 hours before he earns anything, okay? Because he's got to have that, unpaid training time. So after he's worked 4 hours, so let's say this is 4, then he starts earning the hourly wage, okay? So his hourly wage is the same, so the slope of this line is going to be the same. So I'm just going to draw a parallel line to Peter's line, and this is Gabe's total earnings. All right, it's a straight line with the same slope, except that now he doesn't earn anything until he's put in 4 hours of training. Okay, so what happened there? Essentially, what we did is we shifted everything over by 4 hours, right? We shifted the graph over by 4 hours. So g of t is p of t shifted to the right. By 4 hours, right? So how can we express g of t as a function of p of t, right? Like we did before, we expressed the, what was it, Megan's total earnings in terms of Peter's total earnings, and Jasmine as well. So what do we do there? What do we have to do here? So essentially, Gabe earns the same hourly wage as Peter, right? But we're going to subtract 4 hours. Right? We have to subtract 4 hours because he's not going to start earning that hourly wage until he's worked 4 hours. That should be a T, shouldn't it? T. All right. So when he hits 4 hours, then he starts earning his hourly wage. So essentially, Gabe has to work 4 hours more than Peter to get the same total earnings. All right, so if we take the number of hours that Gabe works and subtract 4, then we'll get the same amount of earnings as Peter.